What's good, y'all, man? We got Fantastic Four First Steps, second trailer Easter egg breakdown, man. You feel me? It was a good trailer, in my opinion. It was a good trailer. You feel me? Y'all see, it got 1.6 million views. And that's probably even the real time. You feel me? It's probably more than that in 2 hours. So, but yeah, everybody going crazy on the trailer. That's what I like. You feel me? More the views, more people going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Credit where credit's due. Daniel Rickman was right. We got a Fantastic Four First Step.
Oh, he predicted the trailer gonna be out today, Thursday. I ain't even noticed it. See, I don't be with the prediction and shit, y'all.
Trailer this morning. We're gonna go through.
Okay, so he on the money. He on the money, man.
This thing with a fine-tooth comb, break it all down. They did give us some very small looks at Galactus. I actually am super hyped for this film. I think this trailer was great. There is a lot to break down here.
Yeah, I've been hyped since the first goddamn trailer came. I'm like, shit, sign me up. sign me up. I wanna watch this bitch now.
First look at
shit,
Silver.
Fuck all the CGI. I wanna watch that bitch now. Shit.
Surfer, what's going on with the plot and
that goddamn action, you know what I mean? Watch that bitch now. Okay.
First, a really good showcase of the Fantastic Four using.
Oh yeah, look, you see the city. I ain't even see the city. I'm just looking at the trailer though, you know.
It all down. A quick reminder to hit that subscribe
button.
It's the #1 thing you can do to support us at the channel. Plus, it enters you for the giveaway. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the trailer opens up with the Ted Gilbert show hosting the Fantastic Four. This is meant to be a parody on the Ed Sullivan show in the same style format from the 60s. And in the previous trailer, we saw the Fantastic Four standing on a stage that was very similar to the one the Beatles played when they were on the Ed Sullivan show. Now, is part of a little ironic twist for them not doing a quote-unquote origin story for the Fantastic Four, they have Ted Gilbert, the host, throwing out this dialogue. Y'all know the story. 4 astronauts go up into space. They come back changed forever. As a nod to everyone already knowing
the story,
origin. And this dialogue is really highlighting that decision by Marvel Studios and Matt Shakman specifically to pick up with them after the origin story has already happened. He then goes on to say that they can never repay, but they can only thank the Fantastic Four. So this is basically highlighting their role in society a little bit different than the Avengers were, basic unknowns and underappreciated. But here you have a Fantastic Four that's celebrated and well-known, gearing up for a Battle of New York, if you will. And this all leads back to the Fantastic Four of it all, where Reed Richards decidedly made sure that they revealed who they were to everyone, as to not leave Ben Grimm the Thing as an outsider, since he was the only one who looked specifically different with his power set. Then we get a scene where they link some of the first trailer, the dinner scene, with now the second trailer.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Started All Nation Restoration to help people. Chase for Business is literally what it says in the name. It is Chase for Business, where I can find everything I need in one place, so we can help people get back to life.
Trailer, which is the huge reveal that Sue Storm is pregnant with none other than Franklin Richards, an Omega level reality warping.
Yeah, I was right. She pregnant. I ain't even know. You know what I mean? I ain't. You know what I'm saying?
If done justice on the silver screen, will be one of the most powerful characters ever to enter the MCU. Now, quick sidebar. My channels like mine, we've done a lot of coverage on Franklin Richards, and we'll continue to with Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars theories going on for the next 2 years. But if you're not familiar with this character, it is not hyperbole to say he will be one of the most powerful characters ever in the MCU if they actually do his character justice. And what's important between Franklin Richards and Galactus is their unique relationship, where a couple of times in the comics, some crazy things have happened between the two of them. At one point, Franklin Richards actually reses Galactus as his herald in order to try to defeat the Celestials, and in another comic book run called Earth X, after they defeat Galactus, they realize he's actually needed for the fate of the universe, and Franklin Richards uses his power to forget he's Franklin Richards and actually become Galactus. It's this unique relationship between the two that have a lot of industry insiders wondering if Galactus' whole reason for coming to Earth isn't because, as Reed states during this trailer, he stretched space, but rather to seek out Franklin Richards. For what reason, we still don't know. Now, this blissful revelation is seemingly interrupted by the arrival of Shala Ball's Silver Surfer, a herald of Galactus. Now, if this has you irked just a little bit that this isn't Norrin Rad, don't worry. The arrival of Shalabal doesn't mean we aren't getting Norn-Rad in the MCU. Galactus has had multiple heralds through his times in the comics. This is just one of them. Actually, in fact, since this isn't the 616, I would argue it's even more likely we get Norn-Rad down the road in our own universe, theory for a different video. In the meantime, she exclaims, "Are you the protectors of this world? Your world is now marked for death." Now, there is one thing I want to say that is not an Easter egg at all. I'm just giving my honest and immediate reaction. I don't think the CGI looks good on her at all. Where, as opposed to Galactus, the quick glimpses we're about to get into and during this trailer look up.
It don't look good. It look good to me. I mean, you know, it got a little, you know, I mean, yeah, it look good to me.
Amazing. I feel like the skin on her, the rendering for it looks rough, and I don't mean rough as in the texture, I mean rough as in a low quality render. Maybe it's just the way it's appearing in the trailer. I made sure to turn the high bit rate on, and I'm going to reserve final judgment until we get to the movie, because obviously they work on CGI for films right up until it drops. But just immediate reaction, really hoping that's not the final render on Silver Surfer. Now, Reed Richards remarks, "I stretch space."
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't be too deep in like that, so hey, let me know down below what you look like.
And remember, Nathaniel Richards, he who remains, is a distant relative of Reed Richards. It seems like there's something with the Richards, they just can't stop from exploring the multiverse, and this is where Reed thinks that some of his work and somewhere on this board is the reason now that Galactus has found their Earth, and a possible energy source marked for destruction means he's about to eat your planet. Now, where I was complaining about these Silver Surfer renders, I am not complaining about Galactus at all. It looks amazing, and I got to admit that the very first time that I watched this trailer and saw Reed Richards stretching off the rock, which they finally showed his stretchy
they finally did. He looked good though,
powers, and it looks great. I didn't even notice that Galactus was hidden behind the rocks in the top left corner of this shot. Absolutely.
Wait, what Galactus is that?
Incredible.
Oh, you right there, little. I don't know.
When you get a really good showcase again of
he look good though.
Powers, and I would have thought Reed's stretching ability would be the one that they were going to have the hardest time doing, but in this trailer, these graphics look amazing. This looks like what you'd expect for the Fantastic Four. Now, I mentioned it only briefly earlier in this video, but watching this trailer, I couldn't help but draw parallels between the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, where they're basically set up as different teams, but this is their Battle of New York, an invasion of aliens that they need to protect everybody from. And Reed Richards, and certainly the way it's put in this trailer, definitely takes it on him as their protector in the same way that Iron Man felt like he needed to take that role on and for the Avengers during Avengers 1 in the Battle of New York. So to me, just so many parallels, and I am so hyped for the way that they did this trailer, not revealing too much.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe a little bit, but not too much.
Moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back.
Recutting some of the same footage, they revealed a lot more about the plot, and yes, we got to see Silver Surfer, but they reserved actually revealing the full-on Galactus, and then giving us this sort of steps through New York really invokes the imagery of, say, Godzilla, or
that's a big ass. Damn, boy, he big. That's
or even Ghostbusters, Stay Puft
great.
Marshmallow Man, where you have this oversized threat making his way through the city. You know, there were a couple of things about this recent Daredevil show where, having read a lot of those old original Daredevil comics when I was a kid, I really felt like they were doing their best to bring the comic panels to life. And in this trailer, a lot more than the first one, I really get a sense of that with the Fantastic Four. Marvel Studios is very obviously paying attention to detail with the visuals. And I know I mentioned I didn't like the CGI on a couple of the shots for Silver Surfer, but the rest of this looks absolutely incredible and exactly what you'd expect from a Fantastic Four set in the 60s. And yes, we already know there's going to be the multiverse of it all towards the end, maybe a setup for Dr. Doom, although it's pretty emphatically stated he won't be in the movie, post-credit scene or not, but that there will be a tie-in for the multiverse and the Fantastic Four. But save that, this looks like what we want from a Fantastic Four adaptation, and I think one of the best things Marvel Studios could have done was choose to put them in a different universe so that they could get the fresh first movie they needed without all the pretense and context of a world that had already been populated with as many superheroes as the mainstream continuity MCU.
Yeah, got their own.
Try to pigeonhole them in with some weird retcon that explains why they weren't there the whole time, but really they were. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below and reaction in total to this trailer. If you're as hype as I am, because I certainly am, and I think this trailer was absolutely amazing. If you don't feel that way, again, I'm all ears in the comments, and of course, different opinions are allowed at this community. That's why it's so awesome. Quick reminder, we're giving away PlayStations. If you missed our last announcement,
But anyway, man, like it. Say my channel, hit that bell if you're new. Let me know what y'all think about the CGI, man. Let me know comment below what y'all think. And yeah, peace.